what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking with Vicki and JC from Applause Children Theater about Shrek and everything that you guys got going on there. Thanks for coming on.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the theater because I've never been exposed to it, I guess. So, and that's what you're here for, right?
Thank you, yeah.
So Vicki, tell me a little bit about the Applause Children's Theater. This is almost 10 years in the production.
I know, it's hard to believe it's almost been 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, it seems longer to me because I had something called Singing Hands Children's Choir for 19 years before that, which was a sign language theater. But Applause Children's Theater kind of took off from there. I used to help direct in a musical theater up in King City called Soul Treasures, and because I used to teach, I was a school teacher up there in King City, but then I stopped teaching and I came here, and since I had my sign language theater, a lot of friends were like, just start a theater here, Vicki, just start a theater here. And I'm like, oh, no one's gonna come, and I can't do something that big. You're already doing it. They're like, you're already doing it with Singing Hands. So I applied for this nonprofit, a nonprofit license and all that, and decided to give it a try. And I love Wizard of Oz. It was my daughter's favorite show, and so I decided to give it a try, and I'm like, okay, maybe if I just get 25 kids to audition, we could put this on, And, 58 kids later,
This was your first year, wow.
Yeah, and we had 58 kids sign up to be in the show. And so the hardest part was finding a place to put the show on. But I ended up being able to get Flamson Auditorium, and we had 58 kids sign up, and we put on The Wizard of Oz, and it was just phenomenal. And ACT was born. I had a great group of friends to put together a board of directors, and it was just great. And so the next show was Peter Pan, and 80 kids turned out for Peter Pan.
Wow.
And because I was in children's theater all my life growing up, and John Healy in San Jose Children's Musical Theater, which is going on its 65th year, I think. And his philosophy was all kids are cast in the show. And so that's what I wanted our philososy to be.
Well, you didn't turn anybody down.
Correct. If they we had to have a cap of kids that can register because of our limited space of a venue, and so, but that was hard too. It was hard to limit the cast size because it was like I didn't want anyone to turn away. Right. So pretty much anybody who registered is cast in the show, and then I hold auditions to cast the parts. So Peter Pan, 80 kids were cast in the show. And
they all wanted to be Peter Pan? Or
well, of course,
Okay.
But we held auditions, and then we cast the leads. And I double casted the show so that more kids would have the opportunity to be leads. So we ended up with 2 Peters and 2 of everything. And then...
and then what, they just switch out during the show?
No,
different shows?
Different shows. We'd have We'd have 4 shows, and the chorus got to do 4 shows. The ensemble did 4 shows, but the leads would be one person would be Peter for a Friday night, and then like for Saturday she would be in the chorus. So she would never sit out completely. She'd be in the chorus one night and lead one night.
Well, that's cool. Gives them a little bit of extra opportunities to be a lead, or
And so then it just flew from there. And then when COVID hit, we pretty much lost everything. Our bank account. We were 2 weeks away from opening night.
I think so.
I think we were just 2 weeks away from opening night with our biggest show ever, Beauty and the Beast, and we lost almost $80,000.
And that was COVID.
Mm-hmm. And I think we were down to like $1,000 in our bank account. We were going to close, and I just didn't feel like God wanted us to close, and I just said, we can't do this. I mean, I changed my mind within a week and said I can't close, and so I threw income into it and said we got to do another show. So we did little camps that kind of kept our door open, but not making any money. And then we did a little show with masks on and everything. And then we kind of crossed our fingers and prayed and did Little Mermaid, and to see if we could get the kids back. and the audience back, and it worked. That worked, and that got a little bit of income back. And then we tried again and did Beauty and the Beast. And at that time, my church, Christian Life Center, allowed us to use the stage at the church, which was not as costly as the school was beginning to be. And that just flew. It was so successful. And that helped us just to start going up again. And so we are probably, back to where we were before COVID now. And it's nice, to finally be
awesome.
Up again,
So are you at a facility? Do you have a place?
We have a rehearsal room.
Okay.
Which we've totally outgrown also, It's on Riverside Avenue and 1413 Riverside in a little Scandia Square. And it's wonderful. Our landlords are terrific. But again, it's hard to get 60, 70, 80 kids in there at a time. They're not all there all the time because when we rehearse certain scenes, so it's rare when everybody's there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only there. Everybody's only there if we're working on a scene that everybody's in, which is
running through
the whole entire show, which is really rare, but it does happen, and it's hard to fit everybody in there. But we do it. The show must go on, right?
Right.
But we do it, and it works. But we definitely need a new place. That's what we're dreaming for. But we mainly use it for summer camps and for rehearsal. And but then when we do our actual shows, then we're at the Christian Life Center.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. So JC, let me talk to you. Let's hear your story and journey. How long have you been a part of the program?
About 5 years, I would say.
Okay, and you're 17 now?
I'm 17 now. I had just turned 12, I think, when I first joined the theater.
And so you go to school here in Paso or Templeton?
I do Templeton High School's independent study.
Okay.
So.
And so does Templeton have a drama class or?
They do, but I might be able to next year, but I can't as of now.
Because you're independent study?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I did read something about that you're looking in for independent study to be able to take advantage of some of the school curricular activities because they do a lot of good shows at nighttime.
Right.
So what got you into acting and wanting to pursue this?
I've always loved singing ever since I was little. I just sang nonstop. And then my mom put me into voice lessons when I was about 11, right before Beauty and the Beast. And then this was right before COVID, I started at Tascadero Middle School in 6th grade, and I joined their drama club. And the first show I did there was Shrek The Musical Jr., and I'm like, Shrek? They made a musical out of Shrek? Was my first thought. I'm like, really, Shrek? And I'm like, well, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a chance. And I did, and I'm so glad I did. I loved it so much. I totally fell in love with theater. And then I found Applause Children's Theater, and when they were doing Beauty and the Beast, their first production of Beauty and the Beast, my mom signed me up for that. I'm like, oh, cool, Beauty and the Beast. And then I was preparing for my audition, and we were driving there. I started I got so scared before my audition. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people, they're gonna hate me. They're all gonna hate me. And I walk into the audition room, and I think I did my 2 monologues, and then I started feeling lightheaded, and I'm like, can I go get a drink of water? And they're looking at me, and they're like, yeah, go ahead. And so I go over and I get a drink of water, then I start hyperventilating.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I have to get out right now. I'm not gonna make it. I have to get out. And I'm like, can I? And I went back over and I said, can I go outside for a minute and come back? And you guys could probably see me getting pale. And so they're like, yeah, okay. So I have my water in my hand, and I start walking out the door. Everything goes black.
Oh, no.
Didn't make it to the door. Hit the ground. I hit my shin on a chair.
Oh.
And as soon as I hit the ground, the water in my hand splashed all over my face, which
woke her up.
woke me back up. And my mom was in the other room, and she heard the thud, and she's like, she knew it was
JC.
me. She knew it was me, and so she came running in, and then like brought me outside, and I was sitting on the curb, and I was just bawling my eyes out on the curb, and then Miss Vicky came out and sat next to me, and she was all, "You were doing really good. We really because I hadn't done my song yet, and she said, we'd really like you to come back tomorrow. Or we'd really like you to come back in and finish your audition." And so I came back the next day, did my song, and I got the part I wanted.
Oh, cool.
So,
And what was that?
it was Babette Lumiere, the little feather duster, like
Okay.
Lumiere's little girlfriend.
Very
So
cool. So
yeah.
that was your first.
that was my first. That was
first
my
one with
first
that.
applause children's theater experience.
But auditions really aren't that scary. It's
So,
just her.
so
was-
kids
I
kids don't
panicked,
typically
yeah.
pass out
No.
there at act, right, Viggy? So
Not at all.
that's good, but I mean that shows your passion,
I was an
for it.
exception, yeah.
You
I just panicked. I just totally panicked. And I always tell that story to the kids that are like coming in, because we do like a little audition workshop before auditions usually. And we did have one for Beauty and the Beast, but you weren't there. Miss Vicky wasn't there. So I like didn't know anybody in the audition room. And but I always usually tell that story whenever we have the audition class, because I'm like, don't worry about your audition. You can't do worse than I did. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Now, are you the most veteran person there now?
Now,
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and JC's been a junior director too, because we have a junior director program where some of the older kids get to be like junior apprentices and direct our beginning shows or help direct.
Oh, really?
Direct and direct shows as well. So our Charlie Brown Christmas show is kind of a beginner show or a show for some of the kids that to help them improve their performances, and that show is completely directed under my guidance, but I kind of sit back and let junior directors direct the entire show.
Do you let them make mistakes
Oh yeah.
and let them just be like, well, that didn't really work,
Yeah.
but you have
I'll
to
sit
learn.
back, and if it's like, this isn't working, I'll say, you might want to try something different. This isn't working, and we'll,
But you
we'll
don't
discuss
make
it.
you just have a comment that
Yeah.
they need to hear and absorb.
Yeah. And so the last time it was directed completely by two young directors. The girl who's playing Fiona right now, Charlie, and a young boy named Ben directed the entire show. So it's really good experience for them.
That's awesome. So looking at your different programs, you guys have The Little Mermaid, you have Mary Poppins, The Jungle Book, The Wizard of Oz, of course, Beauty of the Beast, In the Beast, of course, The Charlie Brown Christmas, Peter Pan, Annie. Mm-hmm. So, and these productions, I mean, it's not like, oh, let's do Annie next week. I mean, these are a long production period, right?
This Shrek has been our shortest turnaround. Usually our spring shows start in January and we put them on in end of April or May. And this time we started in January and it's going on, today's opening night, so end of March. So this has been our shortest turnaround, and it's worked, it's done well. So instead of drawing it out to May, it's done okay. We've gotten it put together, and it's going to be fabulous.
And Shrek starts tonight.
Tonight.
Where is the production being put on at?
Christian Life Center, which is at 1744 Oak Street in Paso Robles.
Okay.
And the biggest compliment, Randy, that I've ever gotten, and I always get it, and it's really great, but I always get it at intermission. Usually, I get people that come up that have never seen our shows, and they say, I thought I was coming to see a school production, and this is nothing like a school production. This is a piece of Broadway in Paso Robles. I don't even think.
Wow, that's a great compliment,
I completely forget those are kids on stage. And it's true. You know, growing up in the theater I grew up in was nothing like a school production. He expected profession out of us. He expected high level quality out of us as children. He's like, I don't care that you're kids. I'm going to train you to be working professionals, and we're going to do high level choreography. And if it's too hard, we'll lower it a little bit, but we're not going to start here because I don't think you can do this. We're going to start here, and if it's too hard, we'll make it a little easier. But, you know, I'm going to expect quality out of you. And that's what we do. And so their Broadway productions put, you know, on, and you forget that those are little kids up there. We've got 5-year-olds up there doing dances that you'd never think they could do. And they're getting, you know, they've got 3 and 4 costume changes, and they know where to be and what to do. And you just, it's an amazing production. It really is.
JC, how does that match up from, because you were in Shrek in school, and obviously you're in Shrek now in the ACT program. So what Vicky just said, as far as like it's night and day from like a school program versus a Broadway program, is that what you would say as well?
Yeah, I mean, we did, in our production of Shrek at Atascadero Middle School, we did have a really good group of kids in that one. But yeah, I mean, but also it was all older kids, like all 12 years old and older, and it was like no better than ours, which is like 5 years old and up, you know, and over.
Oh, is that what you guys have? Is you guys have 5-year-olds? 5? Like they're acting?
And dancing. Like the 5-year-olds are doing the same dances as she is.
Yep.
Wow. But they're not talking though. They don't have any, they have lines too?
Some of them.
At 5 years old, you're telling me this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I keep thinking my grandson, a couple more years older, it's like, really? Oh my gosh.
I think our gingerbread man is 8.
8, is she?
Sophia, 8 or 9.
No kidding. And was JC, was your family, your parents, were they involved in theater, or are you the first one to want to do this and doing it?
I'm the first. Both my parents were really shy as kids. They're like, I don't know where you got it, but I don't know. I guess you get 2 introverts and then you get an extrovert. I don't know. But
do you have siblings?
I have an older brother, yeah, but he's not. He's more into music. Like he plays guitar and a lot, and he's into like musical instruments and stuff, but nothing like theater, like me.
And we don't just stop with, act in a little bubble. We have kids that have found their love, like JC, in ACT at 12 years old, and they've gone on from ACT. We've got kids at PCPA right now in Santa Maria. We've got a young lady at Cal Poly in the theater arts program pursuing her career in teaching to come back and want to be a theater arts teacher. We've got a young man that just graduated from AMDA, the best theater arts program in New York, and he just booked his first professional theater job. I can't talk about what it is because he hasn't signed his contract, but it's with one of the biggest name companies around, and that's exciting. He auditioned for AMDA in Los Angeles, and New York saw his audition and asked him to come to New York School, and he started in our theater and found his love for theater there. He actually wrote a alumni thank you in our playbill this year. So he starts his job in next month after and signs his contract here in the next week, I think. And we've got kids that have signed with agents recently. We have 2 boys that have signed with an agent. They just did a Super Bowl commercial. Have done several commercials, PGA commercial, Super Bowl commercial. A young lady that did an Etsy commercial. We have another young girl who did a bilingual. She's from Georgia Brown. She did a bilingual sitcom part on a sitcom. So we have lots of kids that have just found their love for what they do, and I help them, pursue it, So it's fun to be part of their journey, and help them, do what they love to do, if it's whether it's for their life or just for a part of their life, And
That's interesting. JC, what's your aspiration? What is your where do you want to be? Do you want to go into like theater, Broadway type stuff? Do you want to go into movies? What's your aspiration?
Yeah, definitely more theater.
JC's opera trained. So
Oh, yeah?
she works. Yeah,
I perform with the San Luis Obispo Opera too.
Oh, no kidding.
But yeah, I definitely do want to stick to the stage. Of course, depending on what movie it is, or something, or TV show or whatever. But theater, live theater is more my passion.
Because you would think like these different stepping stones for like into the movies, into TV shows, into sitcoms, whatever it may be, starts with theater, right? It starts with the drama class. It starts with what you guys are doing now. And does people reach out to you, or do you get like emails that says, "Hey, we're doing casting calls for, these different places in these different locations"?
I do sometimes. I do. Especially from Cal Poly, student films. I get a lot of that. I just sent one little boy to them, and he got a role. So I do. But you know what, Randy? I can't do anything that I do without a village. I really can't.
I was just going to ask you. You probably have a massive amounts of people behind the scenes.
I am just a little pebble in what I do. I can't do it without the huge village behind me. I have an amazing crew. I have an amazing board of directors, and my stage manager is a magician, and she just takes so many things off my plate, and from the light board to organizing everything. I have an amazing, costume designer right now, volunteer, Kelly Horn. A music director that comes in and works with everybody. Linda Wilson does music for us now. So before I used to do it all, and just because that's what was
it was your program.
On my plate,
you started it.
And then people just started jumping on board, which was what a blessing, And Casey Biggs, local actor in town, jumped on board when we did our first advanced show, Newsies, which was...
Now, he was in Star Trek?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And he's the Paso wine man in town. And he reached out when he saw me doing Newsies. And he used to have my Singing Hands group perform the national anthem at the 4th of July thing every year. And then when he saw what I was doing, he's like, "Oh, I'd love to come help." And so, okay. So we did Newsies together. It was always my dream to kind of have an older kids group do 2 shows a year. And now we're up to 3 shows a year. And so he helps now too, and it's just a village. It really is, and parent volunteers, and but the biggest thing is the community and sponsors, and having businesses jump on board to sponsor a show for anything from $100 to $1,000. We have 60 kids in this show, so this is a small show. We have 60 kids in this show, and most kids, she only has 1 costume this time, but when she played Belle, I think she had 5.
How many did I have?
We've got some kids in this show probably have 5 costumes changes.
Little Mermaid, I definitely did.
Wow.
In Wizard of Oz, kids had anywhere from 4 to 6 costume changes. And so you think...
And now, that's because they're playing different parts and stuff like that, right?
Everybody plays different parts, And Wizard of Oz, we had 30 Munchkins. So 30 Munchkins played a Munchkin, they played a Munchkin, they played a monkey, they played the Emerald City people. So, right, is that all the little kids played? Munchkins, monkeys. So they played 3 roles. So 30 kids had 3 costumes apiece. So you do the math, right? And that was just the little kids. Then the big kids also had 3 to 4 costumes apiece. So even $100 helps with costumes, right? So I can't do it alone, and so I take the credit for starting the theater, but I can't take the credit for the way it's been able to keep going. It's definitely a God-given passion of mine, and definitely a mission, what God has me doing, but I can't do it by myself. The parents are so great to keep their kids coming, get them to rehearsal. encourage me. But it's definitely a gift that's been given to me, and a mission field, and just something that I love doing, and I can't do without support from the community. Bring your kids to see the show. Coming to see the show keeps us going. By all means and purposes, we should not be open still. We should have had to close, and we're not. You know?
And we're talking about the show that opens tonight at the Community
Christian Life Center.
Christian Life Center in Paso Robles.
Yeah, and
Shrek Junior the Musical.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Junior Productions, if you don't know what those are, Junior Productions are a shorter version of the Broadway show. So they're shorter in length and time. You know, so like the full production's probably like 2.5 hours. The Junior Production's like an hour and a half with an intermission thrown into, so hour and 45 minutes maybe. And then if the full production has adult humor, they've cut that adult humor out. The humor is still there. By all means, this show is hilarious.
But more kid friendly.
Correct. So if you've seen Shrek, you don't want to not come see this because you're like, oh, it's not appropriate. This is very friendly, family appropriate for your kids. And it's got every fairy tale character you can imagine in it. And it's just so funny. There's no crude humor in it that your kids wouldn't be appropriate for your family. It's very fun. And the tickets are the same price online as they are at the door. There's no fees online.
Which is?
$35 for adults and $15 for kids. If you use, there's a code PR Press, Paso Robles Press, that will get you a discount on adult tickets. And
they go to Applause Children's.
Applause Children's Theater. There's
Okay.
a link there to tickets. And there's no fees online, tickets for the tickets online. And there's not very many tickets left, so grab them up.
So you guys have production tonight. So you have three.
We have 4 shows tonight.
4 shows.
Tonight and tomorrow at 7.
Okay.
And then on Saturday at 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock.
Okay. And then when somebody comes there, is there concessions and stuff like that?
There's concessions, and there's green roses for sale if you want to buy for somebody that's in the show. Yeah.
Green roses.
There's green roses for sale. There's concessions for sale. And we have a 50-50 raffle that helps go towards our show. So that's where you buy a raffle ticket. And then if we sell $600 worth of raffle tickets that night, we choose a ticket and you get half of that income.
Very cool. JC, so you're in the show, right? So what character are you playing?
I'm Donkey.
You're Donkey. Okay. So
She's
can you?
hilarious.
Yeah. Give me some scenes. Can you do that?
Let me
Do you say donkey?
Yeah, Donkey.
No, that's Shrek. Shrek says that.
Let's see. Now that's what I'm talking about. Shrek and Donkey, 2 stalwart friends off on a whirlwind big city adventure.
I think Donkey's got to be the most favoritist character in Shrek,
She's really funny.
right? I mean, how many people tried to go for that? I mean, obviously, you got it, but I mean, how many people like raised their hand for Donkey?
There were quite a few that went out for Donkey, actually. There were quite a few, yeah.
And so, but you sing, so it's a musical.
Yeah.
So what kind of music's? What do you sing in Shrek? Like
She sings, my favorite song that she sings is Travel Song.
Is it really? Is that your favorite?
What's yours?
Travel song? Mine's Make a Move. I like that song.
Oh, yeah, she does a great job at Make a Move. She used to sing part of the Make a Move.
You gotta make a move. That one's fun. I love that song.
Yeah, give me a little 10
Oh,
second,
boy,
15
okay.
second riff.
Start it that one. Yeah.
You gotta turn up the heat, you gotta butter the pan, you gotta make a move and don't be afraid. Reach for her hand, maybe give her a kiss. She's waiting for a move to be made. You gotta make a move. There you go.
Awesome, very good. I know, I put you under the spot. You're like, I haven't even warmed up yet or nothing. Gosh, but then you get to dance around and have some fun and all that stuff on
Yeah,
stage
it is
too.
so much fun.
Yeah, I do all the choreography, so.
Yeah. Well, I saw the costume for Donkey. I mean, you got to be sweating
Oh
bullets.
gosh, I have a vest.
We
that goes-
ordered her a vest that has all these ice packs in it.
Smart.
because it's so hot. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some extra ice packs though for the 2-day show because we
gotta
did.
freeze them. That's
Yeah,
right.
because we did a rehearsal where we did the show twice. We had a rehearsal where we did
You guys
the
are doing the show
twice.
twice in one day?
Yeah, that's on Saturday. We have the matinee and then the night show. And after the matinee, all my ice packs had melted. So we need, yeah, I did.
Okay.
So we need new ice packs for the next show, or else I'm going to be dying.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's so cool.
So you got like these little 5-year-olds that do 2 shows in a day.
It is such amazing. I mean, are these kids that are doing like their because I know you do the independent study, but are these all kids doing independent
No.
study? Okay.
Maybe, how many homeschool kids are in theater? Maybe
I don't know.
8?
Yeah.
Something like that. There's not a lot. I mean, there's some, but not a lot.
And so your only Christmas show that you do is like a Charlie Brown Christmas.
No, we do 2 in the fall. We do the Charlie Brown Christmas is for under 10. And, well, no, not really. You can be older than 10 in that. But it's mostly for our younger and newer actors and kids that just want to keep their skills up. And that's our community show. So it's free for kids, all age kids. And then it's only $15 for adults. And it's sponsored by the Office of County Education. And we just want to offer that free to the community because it's a Christmas show and we want kids to be able to come to theater and see it. And then we do our advanced show in November as well, and that's 10 and older, and that's going to be Sound of Music this year. And
We did decide on Sound of Music.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's for 10 and older, and it's a very limited number cast, and the 10-year-olds have to be approved by me, so I have to know that they can dance pretty well because it's really a much higher dance level, and that they can really pay attention as well because it's a very, just a much higher level expected dance show.
Do you ever collaborate with like these? Like there's a dance program in town, right? That has I don't know the name of them, but do you ever collaborate with them with dancers that not necessarily a speaking part in your shows?
Not usually because they do a lot of competitions, so they're not usually available.
Okay.
If I sometimes need help with choreography, sometimes I do. Reach
Okay.
out to people I know. But they're so busy in the competition world that
Right.
it's hard to get them to come and help. But our advanced performer shows have been Newsies. Mary Poppins was our advanced show. So it's sometimes it's like a show that the theme is either the theme is too high for the 5 and 6-year-olds, or it's just a show that the dancing is too hard, that I want the dancing to be harder than a younger kid could do.
Like Newsies.
Yeah, so like Newsies, the theme of the show was just, and the dancing.
What do you keep saying? Newsies?
Yeah, we did Newsies.
Newsies.
That
You
was
don't
a
know
good
about
show.
Newsies? Newsies was a great show. Newsies is the theme of Newsies is a show about the
The 1899 Newsboy strike.
the Pulitzer raises the price of the papers for the newsboys. It's a true story. The newspapers and the newspaper boys go on strike to get the papers back down to where they were, and it's a great story.
Very cool.
It's real dance heavy too.
Yeah,
It's fun.
very dance heavy. So it's not a show you can do with 5 and 6-year-olds. First of all, they wouldn't understand the story, and
Yeah.
so we try to do shows that we can't do with the younger kids in the fall.
Do you have any projections to do anything like a Grease production?
They want me to.
That's my favorite show in the world.
I'd love to do. We should. I mean, like, make it 13 and up.
I know. They want me to, but there are some shows where the theme is not.
I like I said, I think with Shrek, but Grease. I mean, obviously the ultimate
I know.
movie musical. Synonymous with the greasers in that era.
I know.
Is just amazing.
I would rather put West Side Story on before I do Grease. So.
West Side Story, really?
I love West Side Story.
Gosh, that would be so cool.
The church has to approve my shows
Yeah.
too, so
There are
Right.
some shows that they make junior versions of, where it's like,
then they're so watered down.
How do you do that? And and then you watch it, and it's not even the same show
No.
because they have to change so much.
Yeah.
But I think the younger version of Grease that they have is like a teen version.
Yeah,
So
and it's really bad. It's not really good.
yeah, have you seen it? I haven't.
I've
seen
heard it. They changed the lyrics so much that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like, yeah.
Now,
Well,
do
I
you
mean,
guys
they
go
have
to
to.
other shows like to critique or kind of pick up on some of changes or some new ways, new styles? Like,
These guys sometimes they'll see other shows like that. Some people will post their show on YouTube, you know, and they'll come to me and they'll say, Miss Vicki, we've watched other versions of this, and ours is like so much better. so we don't really watch other people's shows very much.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. So once again, so somebody can, how do they get tickets? How do they find out more information
So
about
they
your
can
program?
get tickets online on our website, applauschildrenstheater.com, and starting tonight, they can either come to the show, but starting tonight opens registration for summer camp and registration for our Sound of Music and registration for our next spring production of Annie. So
your next production after Shrek is Annie.
our next big spring production is Annie, correct?
Okay.
And our fall production for the older kids is Sound of Music and Charlie Brown. And so all of our registration for our next coming shows and for summer camp. Usually we have 3 weeks of summer camp. My son's getting married this year, so we're only having 1 week of summer camp, and it's going to fill up really fast, and that opens up tonight.
Very awesome.
So you should grab a spot really fast.
And you only have a
starts
few more tickets left for Shrek, right?
yeah, we only have like
And
a
you have
little over 100.
only 4 opportunities starting tonight.
Yes, and donate or sponsor. You can donate on our website anytime. So we always are looking for donations and looking for sponsors and looking for costumes. If you've got a costume hanging around at home of any sort, take a picture, send it to me, see if I need it, you know.
Don't just throw it away.
No, don't just throw it away, but don't just drop it off either, because sometimes I might not need it. So,
Right.
or volunteer. If you want to volunteer in tech, if you've got a skill, building sets or working on makeup or hair, or reach out to us.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And one last time, you guys are at the Christian Life Center in Paso Robles, down on 17th Street,
Yes,
and Shrek starts tonight.
it does.
You can go see JC being Donkey, right?
Yep.
And all the other kid performers, and they all range from, you said, 5 to how old?
17.
She's
5 to
the oldest.
17.
And you know what, Randy?
Oh, so you're tapping out.
Yeah, I
This is your
think
last year.
No, she can be through 18.
Annie, I think, might be my last
Yeah.
one.
And then she can help direct,
Yeah.
teach voice.
Or start a bit older program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Randy, real quick too, we have some special needs kids in our group too, and they do quite well. And so don't think that your child can't be in our show just because they may have some special needs. Call and talk to me and see is our theater a fit for your child, because we've had kids in our theater come and see our show. We've got some, and kids in our show that aren't what people consider, like everyone else. And they've been in our show since they were 7, right?
Yeah.
And they do fantastic.
Sometimes they're really good because it gives them something that they can focus on
Yeah.
and
One of
really
them-
grab a hold of.
And one of them is one of the leads. So
Yeah.
and she's phenomenal. So theater is really different than a regular sport. We're a family, and they are all so supportive of each other, and it's not a competition with each other. And that's what's so wonderful about it. And they just all work as a team because they have to. We couldn't have Shrek with just the leads. The chorus is just as important as the leads. You couldn't do it without the chorus, right? What would a scene be without the chorus, right?
Very awesome.
So,
Well, Vicki, thanks for coming on. I
thanks for having
appreciate coming on and telling us all about the program and what you guys got going on. JC, congratulations.
Thank
Best of luck starting tonight. I like the fact that you've gotten past the passing out part. Now you put on the show and you are Donkey.
Yeah.
So this is awesome and super excited for it, and hopefully you guys have success, which I'm sure you guys will. It sounds like you guys
yeah.
are.
Fun opening night,
Opening night tonight. What time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at Christian Life Center in Paso Robles. And tickets once more are how much?
35,
35?
15. But PR Press can get you a small discount online.
Awesome.
Not at the door.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to the next one, and we can talk about your next program coming
Yes.
up and learn a little bit more about those and bring in some characters and hear them sing, hear a little bit of piece of the part, which was awesome. Thank you. But I thank you guys both for coming on to What's Up North County.
Yeah,
And
thanks for having us.
yeah, for sure. So
Thank
there you
you.
have it, guys. Hey, make sure if you guys want to see this production put on by the Applause Children Theater in Paso Robles, you don't want to miss it. Shrek Christian Life Center in Paso Robles opens tonight. 4 viewings only. Now till Sunday, right? Until Saturday, but you guys don't want to miss it. Make sure you guys get on over there and support this program, local theater for kids 5 to 17. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wine Travelers Hideaway, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, MGP Coatings, North County Junk Removal, The Trailer Barn, Story Termite Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, Airflow Filter Services, and Suprema Meat Markets. We'll see you on the next time. Go Shrek.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
and Deanna
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.